राम 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 सुप्रभातं सर्वेभ्यः हृत्पूर्वक नमस्काराः। शिवानन्दलहर्याः कक्ष्यायां सर्वेषां स्वागतम्. Today we are in the 37th session and we have completed 57 verses in the previous class, and so we will continue from the 58th verse onwards. Last week you all had a revision session with Aditi. So I hope you all benefited from that. So keep practicing the verses and understanding the meaning as you experience them. So let us begin as usual with Guruvandanam and Dhyana Shlokas. Gururev gatir gurumev bhaje Gurunaiva sahasmi namo gurave Na guroh paramam shishurasmi guroh Matirasti gurau mama pahi guru Shruti smriti purana alayam karunalayam Namami bhagavat pada shankaram loka shankaram Saundaryalahari kartre sarvamangaladayine Shankaracharya varyaya yatirajayate namaha Shankarupena machittam pankikritam abhudhyaya Kinkari yasya samaya Shankaracharyamashreye Prahladavarato devo yo nrsimha paro harihi Nrisimhopasakan nityam tan nrisimha gurum bhaje Shri Satchidananda Shivabhinavya Nrisimha Bharatyabhidhanyatindran Vidyanidhin Mantranidhin Sadatmanishtan bhaje Manava Shambhurupan Sadatmadhyana-niratam Vishayebhyah Parangmukham Naumi Shastreshu Nishnatam Chandrasekhara Bharati Vivekinam Mahaprajnam Dhairyam Udarya Kshamanidhim Sadabhinava Purvantam Vidyatirtha Gurum Bhajet Bharati Karuna Patram Bharati Padabhushanam Bharati Padamarudham Bharati Tirthamashraye Bharati Tirthavaryantam Bhaktahrittapanashanam Bhavabhiti haran devam bhavaye satatam hridi Vidya vinaya sampannau vitaragau vivekinam Vande vedanta tattvajñau vidhushekhara bharati अनन्तगुणसम्पन्नामनन्ताभिधयाश्रुताम् अनन्तज्ञानदात्रीं तां मातरं प्रणुमो वयम् गैर्वाण्या संविबोधेन जीवनं मौल्यसंयुतम् या करोत्तान्नमाम्यम्बां शारदामूर्तरूपिणीम् कलाभ्यां चूडालङ्कृत शशिकलाभ्यां निजतपफलाभ्यां भक्तेषु प्रकटितफलाभ्यां भवतु मे शिवाभ्यामस्तोकत्रिभुवन शिवाभ्यां हृदि पुनर्भवाभ्यामानन्दस्फुरदनुभवाभ्यान्नतिर्यम् We completed the 56th and the 57th verse. Charu, have you been promoted to a panelist. Okay, yeah. Yes, Charu, can you chant the 56th verse for us? We'll do a quick revision before we start today's verses. And 57th verse by Aditi. Charu, please share your screen. Yeah.
नित्याय त्रिगुणात्मने पुरजिते कात्यायनी श्रेयसे सत्यायादिकुटुम्बिने मुनिमनः प्रत्यक्षचिन्मूर्तये मायासृष्टजगत्त्रयाय सकलान्मा
सकलाम्नायान्तसञ्चारिणे
मायासृष्टजगत्त्रयाय सकलाम्नायान्तसञ्चारिणे सायं ताण्डवसम्भ्रमाय जटिने सेयं नतिशम्भवे.
Uttamam. That Upadhamaniya could be slightly clearer. Munimana pratyaksha chinmurtaye. Okay, all of you please note the distinction between how we pronounce an Upadhamaniya and Jihvamuliya. So please also revisit the pronunciation class. I think the 13th session or so which we had. And you can understand the difference between a Jihvamuliya and a Upadhamaniya. Next. Aditi.
नित्यं स्वोदरपूरणाय सकलान् उद्दिश्य वित्ताशया व्यर्थं पर्यटनं करोमि भवतः सेवान्न जाने विभो मज्जन्मान्तरपुण्यपाकबलतः त्वं सर्वसर्वान्तरः त्वं सर्वसर्वान्तरः तिष्ठस्येव हि तेन वा पशुपते ते रक्षणीयोऽस्म्यहम्.
Uttamam. So here, please note the difference. Te, tvam, sharva, sarvantaraha. First is sharva, as addressing a name for Parameshwara, for Ishvara. Tvam sharva, sarvantaraha. Sa and sha differentiation. Okay. Now, Charu, we will begin with the 58th verse. एको वारिजबान्धवः
एको वारिजबान्धवः एको वारिजबान्धवः
क्षितिनभो व्याप्तन्तमो मण्डलम्
क्षितिनभो व्याप्तं तमो मण्डलम् क्षितिनभो व्याप्तं तमो मण्डलम्.
Then you can combine and chant it as Kshitinabho Vyaptantamo Mandalam. Okay, combine the sandhi. Bhitva lochana gocharopi bhavati.
भित्त्वा लोचन गोचरोऽपि भवति भित्त्वा लोचन गोचरोऽपि भवति
त्वं कोटिसूर्यप्रभः
त्वं कोटिसूर्यप्रभः.
Again, please combine the sandhi there. त्वं कोटिसूर्यप्रभः
त्वं कोटिसूर्यप्रभः त्वं कोटिसूर्यप्रभः.
वेद्यः किं न भवस्यहो घनतरम्
वेद्यः किं न भवस्यहो घनतरम् वेद्यः किं न भवस्यहो घनतरम्.
कीदृग्भवेन्मत्तमः
कीदृग्भवेन्मत्तमः कीदृग्भवेन्मत्तमः.
तत्सर्वं व्यपनीय मे पशुपते
तत् सर्वं व्यपनीय मे पशुपते तत् सर्वं व्यपनीय मे पशुपते
साक्षात् प्रसन्नो भव
साक्षात् प्रसन्नो भव साक्षात् प्रसन्नो भव
एको वारिज बान्धवः. The is Mahaprana. Here also please note, this is a rule we have learnt before. Varija Bandhavaha is a visarga followed by ksha. So whenever a visarga is followed by ksha, we chant the visarga completely. We should completely pronounce the visarga. To remind you of that rule, we have inserted a comma here. So even in the Gita, Sama Dukkha Sukhaha Kshami, we say in 12th chapter. So Sama Dukkha Sukhaha, the Visarga is chanted completely because Kshami, Ksha is the next letter. So please note that this is a rule in Sanskritam. Whenever Visarga is followed by Ksha, we chant the Visarga completely. So you have to chant completely. That is one of the important rules. So Varija Bandhavaha. Kshitinabho Vyaptam. Bho is Mahaprana. Vyaptam Tamo Mandalam. Combining that Anuswara with the, it becomes Vyaptan Tamo Mandalam. So let us consistently inculcate this practice of combining the Sandhi when we are not pausing. If we pause, then of course you can chant completely. But without pausing, we continue the Sandhi. Vyaptan Tamo Mandalam. Combine the Sandhi. Bhitva Mahaprana. Bhi. Lochana Gocharopi. So here we know this is a Purva Rupa. That is an Avagraha Chinha, Purva Rupa Sandhi. Lochana Gocharaha Api when you split. But we don't split, we continue chanting. Lochana Gocharopi. We combine the Sandhi and only chant. Bhavati. Bha is Mahaprana. Tvam Koti Surya Prabha. Bha is Mahaprana here. Anuswara followed by Ka. It becomes Tvankoti Surya Prabha. Please note the Dvitvam here. Surya Prabha. Sometimes Dvitvam very distinctly it is heard and we must pronounce it. We should not chant Surya Prabha. Surya Prabha, we are not giving the Dvitvam. We chant it as Surya Prabha. Very distinctly that extra P, which is not written, not shown in the script, but it is heard by chanting. That is the beauty of the Sanskritam chants, the Dvitvam. Koti Surya Prabha. P, doubling should be heard. Here, Vedyaha Kim. Visarga followed by Ka. It becomes a Jihva Muliya. So, Vedyah Kim. Just we do not chant the Visarga completely, but we chant it as Vedyah Kim. And Kim followed by Na, Anuswara followed by Na, we combine the Sandhi. Vedya Kinna, Kinna, Bhavasya Ho. Dvitvam again here. Bhavasya Ho. S is doubling. Bha is Mahaprana. Ghana Taram Gha. Kidrig Bhaven Mattamaha. Bha is Mahaprana. Tatsarvam Vyapaniya. So Anuswara followed by Va. Tatsarvam Vyapaniya. When we combine. Me Pashupate Sakshat Prasanno Bhava. Bha is Mahaprana. We should not prolong it as Bhava. It is not Bhava. It is Bhava Hrasva. A short letter. It should be kept short even while chanting with the tune. Okay, we will do one pada at a time. Eko varija bandhavaha Kshitinabho Vyaptantamo Mandalam.
एको वारिजबान्धवः क्षितिनभो व्याप्तन्तमो मण्डलम् एको वारिजबान्धवः क्षितिनभो व्याप्तन्तमो मण्डलम्
Bhitva lochana gocharopi bhavati Tvankoti surya prabha.
भित्त्वा लोचन गोचरोऽपि भवति त्वं कोटिसूर्यप्रभः भित्त्वा भित्त्वा लोचनगोचरोऽपि भवति त्वं कोटिसूर्यप्रभः
वेद्यः किं न भवस्यहो घनतरम् कीदृग्भवेन्मत्तमः
वेद्यः किन्न भवस्यहो घनतरम् कीदृग्भवेन्मत्तमः वेद्यः किन्न भवस्यहो घनतरम् कीदृग्भवेन्मत्तमः
सर्वं व्यपनीय मे पशुपते साक्षात् प्रसन्नो भव
तत्सर्वं व्यपनीय मे पशुपते साक्षात् प्रसन्नो भव तत्सर्वं व्यपनीय मे पशुपते साक्षात् प्रसन्नो भव
उत्तमं. Now we do half verse at a time. एको वारिजबान्धवः क्षितिनभो व्याप्तन्तमो मण्डलम् भित्त्वा लोचनगोचरोऽपि भवति त्वं कोटिसूर्यप्रभः
एको वारिजबान्धवः क्षितिनभो व्याप्तन्तमो मण्डलम् भित्त्वा लोचनगोचरोऽपि भवति त्वं कोटिसूर्यप्रभः एको वारिजबान्धवः क्षितिनभो व्याप्तन्तमो मण्डलम् भित्त्वा लोचनगोचरोऽपि भवति त्वं कोटिसूर्यप्रभः
वेद्यः किन्न भवस्यहो घनतरम् कीदृग्भवेन्मत्तमः तत्सर्वं व्यपनीय मे पशुपते साक्षात् प्रसन्नो भव
वेद्यः किन्न भवस्यहो घनतरम् कीदृग्भवेन्मत्तमः तत्सर्वं व्यपनीय मे पशुपते साक्षात् प्रसन्नो भव वेद्यः किन्न भवस्यहो घनतरम् कीदृग्भवेन्मत्तमः तत्सर्वं व्यपनीय मे पशुपते साक्षात् प्रसन्नो भव
उत्तमं. Now the entire verse. एको वारिजबान्धवः क्षितिनभो व्याप्तन्तमो मण्डलम् भित्त्वा लोचनगोचरोऽपि भवति त्वं कोटिसूर्यप्रभः वेद्यः किन्न भवस्यहो घनतरम् कीदृग्भवेन्मत्तमः तत्सर्वं व्यपनीय मे पशुपते साक्षात् प्रसन्नो भव
एको वारिजबान्धवः क्षितिनभो व्याप्तन्तमो मण्डलम् भित्त्वा लोचनगोचरोऽपि भवति त्वं कोटिसूर्यप्रभः वेद्यः किन्न भवस्यहो घनतरम् कीदृग्भवेन्मत्तमः तत्सर्वं व्यपनीय मे पशुपते साक्षात् प्रसन्नो भव
उत्तमम्. So in the previous verse Adi Shankaracharya had told us how though I am undeserving, still I am under your care. And though we all spend our days, aimlessly chasing wealth and the powers, etc. And though we don't know how to worship you, still, O Parameshwara, by the merits of the previous lives, you have to protect me. And also you are the Sarvantaryami. You are residing in all beings. That eternal presence is there in all the beings. Ishvara sarvabhutanam hriddeshe arjuna tishtati brahmayan sarvabhutani yantrarudhani mayaya. So, hey Bhagavan, you are residing in everyone. You are that Sarvantaryami. So please protect me. Please watch over me. That was the prayer. Here, very beautifully, Shankaracharya is speaking about the sun. Varija bandhavaha ekaha. So, hey Pashupate, multiple times, I think if there is one, maybe you all can do many interesting things. You can do research and, on this particular text, Shivanandalahari, you can see how many times each nama has been used, how many times he has addressed Ishvara in a particular way. From what we have seen, Pashupate seems to be the most common. So many times he uses this particular word, Pashupate, to refer to Parameshwara, O Lord of all beings, all animals. And we have learnt about the meaning of this word Pashupate. We'll discuss in brief today. So, hey Pashupate, Varija bandhavaha ekaha. Kshitinabho vyaptam tamo mandalam bhitva lochana gocharopi bhavati. Tvam koti surya prabhaha vedyaha kim nabhavasi. Aho ghanataram mattamaha kidrit bhavet tat sarvam vyapaniya me sakshat prasanno bhava. So, hey Pashupate, O Lord of all beings. Now, Pashupate, from the smallest of the creatures to the biggest, including human beings, everyone, Bhagavan is the Lord of all the beings. And Pashu, this word, has a lot of significance. In many Subhashitani, it is described Vidya Vihina Pashuhu. The one who does not have Vidya is a Pashu. So here Vidya is also that ultimate Adhyatma Vidya, like Bhagavan says in the 10th chapter of Gita, Adhyatma Vidya Vidyanam. All of us who have not yet attained that Shivanandam and that Adhyatma Vidya, we are all equal to Pashus. So the one who is watching over or protecting all of us in this samsara, who are in this samsara without attaining that Adhyatma Vidya. So he is the Bhagavan of all of us, all beings, all creatures. And therefore, the word Pashupate is very aptly used to remind Parameshwara that yes, we are all Pashus. We have not attained that Shivanandam yet. You are the Bhagavan. You are the Almighty. You are watching over us. So, hey Bhagavan, please protect us. So many times he uses Pashupate. Here, hey Pashupate, O Lord of all beings, Bhagavan, Varija bandhavaha ekaha. Varija, Vari is jalam, toyam, salilam, water. Varija, the one born in water, Varija has attained a very, the common meaning it has attained is in day-to-day parlance, it means lotus. One born in water is the exact translation. Varija refers to a lotus. Varija bandhavaha, the one who is a relative of the lotus. Now, bandhu, this word also is described in many places in Sanskrit. The one who is always interested in your welfare, in your hita, in what is good for you, is your bandhu. Not someone who just praises before you and then in front of you and then doesn't wish good for you. Such a person is not a bandhu. Bandhu is someone who genuinely, sincerely, wishes for your hita, for your welfare alone and for your happiness alone. So such a person is a bandhu. Now, the lotus, it blooms when the sun rises. Therefore, the sun is called Varija Bandhavaha. The lotus is delighted at the sunrise because it blooms when the sunrise happens. Therefore, Varija Bandhavaha, a relative or a friend of the lotus, Varija Bandhu, is the sun, Suryaha. So Varija Bandhavaha here is a synonym for Suryaha. Suryaha is one. Kshiti nabho vyaptam tamo mandalam bhitva lochana gocharaha bhavati. So what does the sun do when it rises in the morning? It breaks through the tamo mandalam, the dense darkness. So just before dawn, if you see, it is so dark. And how is that darkness? It is kshiti nabho vyaptam. It is all pervading. It is pervading the earth and the sky. So everywhere there's darkness before sunrise. So this dense darkness which is pervading the earth and the skies, that is broken open. Bhitva, having broken that open, Varija Bandhavaha, the sun, Lochana Gocharaha Bhavati, it becomes visible to the eye. So this is a description of sunrise when the sun breaks open the darkness, the dense darkness pervading the earth and the skies, and he gives us darshan. So he becomes visible. Lochana is eye. Lochana Gocharaha. He becomes visible to the eye. However, this is the sun whom we see. I mean, the sunrise happens every day and he becomes visible. Despite the darkness being so dense, he is able to give us darshan by breaking through the darkness. However, you, Parameshwara, He Pashupate, Tvam Koti Surya Prabha, your brightness or effulgence or lustre is equal to a crore suns. So we have seen how even the Upanishads tell us that the ultimate source of that light is Parameshwara, that Parabrahman, that is reflected in the sun, the celestial bodies, etc. And this is a very common word we come across while describing Bhagavan. Koti Surya Samaprabha, very famous shloka, Vakratunda Mahakaya, Koti Surya Samaprabha. There we are referring to Paramatma in the form of Ganesha. We are visualizing in the form of Ganesha in that famous verse, Vakratunda Mahakaya. Koti Surya Samaprabha, equal to the effulgence of 1 crore suns. So just imagine, we are not being so far away from the sun. We are not able to look at the sun with our naked eye for very long or bear his heat because we cannot take that energy, that immense energy emanating. So we cannot even stare at the sun directly, especially when the sun is brightly shining. It's not possible for us. And Bhagavan is equal to 1 crore suns. The effulgence of Bhagavan is equal to 1 crore suns. So he is so bright. Paramatma is so bright, equal to the lustre of 1 crore suns. Koti Surya Samaprabha. He Pashupate, Tvam Koti Surya Samaprabha. Kim na vedyaha bhavasi. However, even though you are equal to, you have the brightness of 1 crore suns, how come you are not known by me? Vedyaha. What is that which is to be known? How come I'm not able to know you? That one sun, he becomes visible by breaking open that dense darkness pervading the earth and skies. But how come I am not able to see you or visualize you, perceive you, O Parameshwara, when your brightness is equal to 1 crore suns? So what does that mean? Aho Mama, Mattamaha. Mattamaha means Matitamaha. My ignorance, my darkness of my ignorance. Kidrik dhanataram bhavet. How dense is the darkness of my ignorance? Here it means ajnana. So how dense is the darkness of my ajnana that you, Parameshwara, who are equal to 1 crore suns, you are unable to, I am unable to perceive you, who is so bright, because my darkness, the darkness of my ajnana is so much dense. So that means that is the level of ajnana and darkness I have within me, that I am not able to perceive you, Parameshwara, who is Koti Surya Samaprabha. So that is the bhava here in this particular verse. Tat sarvam vyapaniya. Now, how do I perceive you? Only when the darkness is removed. So how will that be done? Only you have to do it, O Pashupate. Tat sarvam vyapaniya. Please remove that dense darkness of ajnana which is within me. Sakshat prasanno bhava. Please be pleased with me. Sakshat prasanno bhava. Be pleased with me and remove that dense darkness of ajnana which is pervading me, and bless me so that I'll be able to visualize you or perceive you. So that is the meaning here. Look at that beautiful comparison. One sun is able to break open that dense darkness and give us darshan in the morning. However, my ajnana timira, the darkness of my ignorance, is so dense and so deep that Parameshwara, who is equal to Koti Surya Samaprabha, Koti Surya Prabha, 1 crore suns, I am not able to perceive because of my ajnana. So, hey Parameshwara, please show mercy on me, be pleased with me, and remove, destroy that darkness of ajnana, ahankara, which blocks attaining Shivanandam, or which blocks jnana to dawn upon me. So please remove that ajnana and ahankara and that darkness of ignorance so that I may be able to perceive you. So that is the meaning. Let us go through the meaning once. O Pashupati, remover of ignorance, shine upon me with your direct grace and make yourself known. The sun, who is single, destroys the vast darkness that covers the earth and sky, making itself visible to the eye. But you, who shine with the brilliance of a crore suns, remain unseen by me. How astonishing this is! If even your boundless radiance is hidden from me, then how dense and overpowering must the darkness of my ignorance be? O Bhagavan, dispel this darkness completely and grant me the direct realization of your divine presence. Eko varijabandhavah क्षितिनभो व्याप्तं तमो मण्डलम् भित्त्वा लोचनगोचरोऽपि भवति त्वं कोटिसूर्यप्रभः वेद्यः किन्न भवस्यहो घनतरम् कीदृग्भवेन्मत्तमः तत्सर्वं व्यपनीय मे पशुपते Sakshat prasanno bhava. Okay, now next verse by Aditi. Hamsa padmavanam.
Hamsah padmavanam. Hamsah padmavanam.
Samichhati yatha.
Samichhati yatha. Samichhati yatha.
Neelambudanchatakah.
Neelambudanchatakah. Neelambudanchatakah.
Kokah kokanada priyam pratidinam.
Kokah kokanadapriyam pratidinam. Kokah kokanadapriyam pratidinam.
Chandran chakorastatha.
Chandran chakorastatha. Chandran chakorastatha.
Cheto vanchati mamakam pashupate.
Cheto vanchati mamakam pashupate. Cheto vanchati mamakam pashupate.
Chinmargamrigyam vibho.
Chinmargamrigyam vibho. Chinmargamrigyam vibho.
Gaurinath bhavat padabjayugalam.
Gaurinath bhavat padabjayugalam. Gaurinath bhavat padabjayugalam.
Kaivalya saukhya
कैवल्यसौख्यप्रदम् कैवल्यसौख्यप्रदम्
हंस पद्मवनं समिच्छति यथा नीलाम्बुदं चातकः
हंसः पद्मवनं समिच्छति यथा नीलाम्बुदं चातकः हंसः पद्मवनं समिच्छति यथा नीलाम्बुदं चातकः
कोकः कोकनदप्रियं प्रतिदिनं चन्द्रं चकोरस्तथा
कोकः कोकनदप्रियं प्रतिदिनं चन्द्रं चकोरस्तथा कोकः कोकनदप्रियं प्रतिदिनं चन्द्रं चकोरस्तथा
हेतो वाञ्छति मामकं पशुपते चिन्मार्गमृग्यं विभो
चेतो वाञ्छति मामकं पशुपते चिन्मार्गमृग्यं विभो चेतो वाञ्छति मामकं पशुपते चिन्मार्गमृग्यं विभो
गौरीनाथ भवत्पदाब्जयुगलं कैवल्यसौख्यप्रदम्
गौरीनाथ भवत्पदाब्जयुगलं कैवल्यसौख्यप्रदम् गौरीनाथ भवत्पदाब्जयुगलं कैवल्यसौख्यप्रदम्
Uttamam. Hamsaha Padmavanam. So when you combine, it becomes Hamsa Padmavanam. That is Upadmaniya. The symbol here is for Upadmaniya. Visarga followed by Pa or Pa. Hamsa Padmavanam Samichhati. Cha is Mahaprana. The second Cha. Yatha. Tha is Mahaprana. Neelambudam Chatakaha. Combining it becomes Neelambudan Chatakaha. Kokaha. Here it is Jihva Muliya. So note the difference in the symbols while representing Upadmaniya. That is Hamsa Padmavanam Upadmaniya here. Here Jihva Muliya. Koka Koka Nada Priyam. Visarga followed by Ka or Kha. Koka Koka Nada Priyam. Here the Dvitvam is very clearly heard. Koka Nada Priyam. P is doubling and we have to chant that while chanting. Pratidinam Chandram Chakoras Tatha. Chandram Anuswara followed by Cha. Chandran Chakoras Tatha. This becomes a Sandhi. Combine the Sandhi. Chandran Chakoras Tatha. Here Chakoras Tatha. Again the S is doubling. Chakoras Tatha. Tha is Mahaprana. Only the second Tha is Mahaprana. We should not chant the first also as Mahaprana. And we should interchange also. We should be very careful while chanting. Cheto Vanchati. Cha is Mahaprana here. Mamakam Pashupate. Chinmarga Mrigyam. Mrigyam. Note that G doubling. Dvitvam. Mrigyam Vibho. So the Anuswara, we can give that nasal tone while combining. Mrigyam Vibho. Bho is Mahaprana. Gaurinatha. Tha is Mahaprana. Bhavat Padabja Yugalam. Bha is Mahaprana. Kaivalya. Note the Dvitvam there. The L is doubling. Kaivalya. Saukhya. Again here K is doubling. Dvitvam. Saukhya. K is Mahaprana. Saukhya Pradam. So there are Dvitvams in multiple places in this word. Kaivalya. There L. Saukhya. There K. Saukhya Pradam. P is doubling here. Kaivalya Saukhya Pradam. If you observe, naturally the Dvitvams come while chanting. But sometimes, I've heard that some tend to miss that. But that's not recommended. You must chant the Dvitvams. Hamsa Padmavanam Samichhati Yatha नीलाम्बुदञ्चातकः कोकः कोकनदप्रियं प्रतिदिनं चन्द्रं च कोरस्तथा
हंसः पद्मवनं समिच्छति यथा नीलाम्बुदं चातकः कोकः कोकनदप्रियं प्रतिदिनं चन्द्रं च कोरस्तथा हंसः पद्मवनं समिच्छति यथा नीलाम्बुदं चातकः कोकः कोकनदप्रियं प्रतिदिनं चन्द्रं च कोरस्तथा
हेतो वाञ्छति मामकं पशुपते चिन्मार्गमृग्यं विभो गौरीनाथ भवत्पदाब्जयुगलं कैवल्यसौख्यप्रदम्
चेतो वाञ्छति मामकं पशुपते चिन्मार्गमृग्यं विभो गौरीनाथ भवत्पदाब्जयुगलं कैवल्यसौख्यप्रदम् चेतो वाञ्छति मामकं पशुपते चिन्मार्गमृग्यं विभो गौरीनाथ भवत्पदाब्जयुगलं कैवल्यसौख्यप्रदम्
हंसः पद्मवनं समिच्छति यथा नीलाम्बुदञ्चातकः कोकः कोकनदप्रियं प्रतिदिनं चन्द्रं च कोरस्तथा चेतो वाञ्छति मामकं पशुपते चिन्मार्गमृग्यं विभो गौरीनाथ भवत्पदाब्जयुगलं कैवल्यसौख्यप्रदम्
हंसः पद्मवनं समिच्छति यथा नीलाम्बुदं चातकः कोकः कोकनदप्रियं प्रतिदिनं चन्द्रं च कोरस्तथा चेतो वाञ्छति मामकं पशुपते चिन्मार्गमृग्यं विभो गौरीनाथ भवत्पदाब्जयुगलं कैवल्यसौख्यप्रदम्
Uttamam. Very good. Again, in this verse, many examples from nature describing the longing of Jivatma to attain Paramatma and how earnest and passionate that longing should be for a bhakta to be able to attain Shivanandam or to attain Paramatma. So Hamsaha Yatha Padmavanam Samichhati. Samichhati is a word which shows extreme desire to attain something, extreme love for something. Neelambudam Chatakaha Yatha Samichhati. Kokaha Kokanadapriyam Yatha Samichhati. That we are repeating everywhere. Chakoraha Chandram Yatha Samichhati. Mamakam Chetaha Chinmargam Rigyam Kaivalya Saukhyappradam Bhavat Padabjayugalam. He Gaurinatha, He Pashupate, He Vibho Samichhati. So again, Pashupate, we see so many times Bhagavan addressed as Pashupati. He Pashupate, O Shiva, O Parameshwara, O Bhagavan of all the Pashus, of all the beings. He Vibho, O all pervading Bhagavan. He Gaurinatha, O consort of Gauri, Uma, Parvati Devi. Hamsaha Yatha Padmavanam Samichhati. Hamsaha, the swan, the way it passionately loves or desires or longs for a Padmavana, a lotus-filled lake. So Padmavana is very extremely dear to swans. So a swan passionately desires or longs for a lotus-filled lake. Yatha Chatakaha Neelambudam Samichati. Chataka Pakshi. So these are references to birds, 4 different kinds of birds in this verse, which are very commonly seen in Sanskritam literature for their special, unique characteristics, and they are used in similes, metaphors, etc. So here, comparison to these 4 kinds of birds. First, how the swan desires for a longingly desires passionately for a Padmavana, a lotus-filled pond. Chatakaha, the Chataka Pakshi, Neela Ambudam. Neela is dark or blue. Ambudam is Ambu, the water. Da is the one which gives water, which means the cloud. Neelambuda, the dark cloud, a rain-bearing blue cloud. Now the Chataka Pakshi desires for a rain-bearing cloud, not just a cloud which doesn't give rain. Why so? Because the Chataka Pakshi directly drinks water from the rain. It doesn't drink water anywhere on the earth. Once the rainwater falls on the ground, and it is collected in rivers or lakes or ponds, wherever, the Chataka Pakshi doesn't drink. It only drinks water directly from the rain. So when it is raining, it drinks that water directly from the clouds. Therefore, a Chataka Pakshi longingly desires for a rain-bearing cloud. If it doesn't rain, it just doesn't drink water. That's all. So that's how it is. It only drinks water directly when it is raining. So therefore, a Chataka Pakshi, the way it longs for a dark rain-bearing cloud. Kokaha, Kokanada Priyam, Pratidinam Yatha Samichati. Kokaha refers to a Chakravaka bird. Kokanada Priyam, it refers to the sun. Similarly, like in the previous verse, we saw Varija Bandhavaha, right? So similarly here, Kokanada refers to a lotus. Kokanada Priyaha, the one who is loved by a lotus, is the sun. Because I told you, like we saw, the lotus blooms when the sun rises. Therefore, Kokanada Priyaha, the one who is dear to a lotus, is the sun. So the Chakravaka bird, the Kokaha, the Chakravaka bird, it desires sunrise. So again, a very unique characteristic, which is multiple times highlighted in Sanskritam literature. This Chakravaka bird, it seems the pair, they do not stay together at night. So at sunrise, it unites with its partner. And when it is dark at sunset, they separate. The Chakravaka birds separate at sunset. And they unite in the morning at sunrise. So the whole of the night, the Chakravaka bird longs for its partner. And it keeps cooing, making that sound, longing for its partner. And at sunrise, it unites with its partner. So therefore, the Chakravaka bird desires sunrise. So the way a Chakravaka bird longs for the sun every day, Pratidinam. Next kind of bird is Chakora. So 4 birds we saw. Swan, then we saw Chataka Pakshi, then Chakravaka, that is Koka or Chakravaka bird. The 4th one is Chakora. Now the Chakora bird, the unique feature of this bird is, it gets its nourishment directly from the moon. Chakoraha yatha chandram samichati. The Chakora bird is known for its unique property, unique characteristic of drinking the moon rays. It seems it only feeds and gets its nourishment from the rays of the moon. Therefore, the moon is very dear to the Chakora bird. And the Chakora bird only desires the moon. And these birds very passionately have that longing for their respective objects of desire. Like the Chataka waits for the Neelambuda or the dark cloud to drink water. And the Chakravaka, it waits for sunrise. The Hamsa waits for the Padmavana, or it loves the Padmavana, desires the Padmavana. The Chakora bird desires the moon rays. So, He Parameshwara, He Pashupate, He Vibho, He Gaurinatha, the way all these birds, these creatures, crux of the verse, not just wanting something fleetingly, but the intensity of that desire to want only that. Like, for example, if a Chataka bird doesn't get rain, just imagine that there is no rain for some time. It just gives up water and it can affect its life also, but it doesn't drink water from any other source apart from directly from the rain. Similarly, Chakora bird gets its nourishment only from the rain. So, hey Pashupate, in that way, that passionately how these birds desire, Mamakam Chetaha, my mind, Chinmargam Rigyam, Bhavat Padabja Yugalam, Kaivalya Saukhya-pradam Vanchati. Similarly, O Pashupate, this mind of mine desires Chinmarga Mrigyam, Chital Marga, Jnana Marga, the one who is known through the Jnana Marga or the Upanishads or Vedanta. So the one who is known through Jnana Marga is Paramatma. So Kai the ultimate vastu to be desired, liberation. Kaivalya Saukhya. That is the only Saukhya. All these Saukhyas in samsara are not really Saukhyas. They are not happiness. So Kaivalya Saukhya Pradam, that which bestows the ultimate happiness or absolute bliss of moksha. What is that? Bhavat Padabja Yugalam. Your pair of lotus feet, Hey Pashupade, O Gaurinatha, my mind desires. So this is the meaning of this verse. Now, if you see many stories of bhaktas like Dhruva, single-mindedly wanting only Bhagavan, nothing else. So unless the intensity is to that level that you don't want anything else but Bhagavan, then one cannot attain Paramatma or Shivanandam. If you see even works like Gita Govindam by Jayadeva, there's a beautiful description of Jivatma there in the form of Radha, longing for Paramatma, Krishna, giving up everything, food, water, everything. The only desire is to attain Paramatma. So that intensity should be there to desire for Paramatma alone, not for many other things. And okay, if possible, if it is a fleeting desire or that intensity is not there, it is not possible. However, in this verse, Shankaracharya is saying, hey Pashupate, I desire you only, your lotus feet only, which are known by the study of the Upanishads and which bestow that ultimate bliss. That pair of lotus feet only I desire. Okay, so now let us also, in one of the commentaries I heard, that this reference to Hamsa, Chataka, Chakora, and the Chakravaka bird, it is a reference to our Antahkarana, which has Mano, Buddhi, Manaha, Buddhi, Ahankara, and Chitta. And unless one surrenders the entire Antahkaranam of Manaha, Buddhi, Ahankara, and Chitta to Bhagavan, unless one completely surrenders, one will not attain Bhagavan. So this is also called that mumukshutvam, that desire to get moksha and desire to attain Paramatma. Unless that tivrata is there, that intensity for mumukshutvam, one cannot attain Shivanandam or Brahmanandam. Let us just go through the meaning once. O Pashupati, O Gaurinatha, O Vibho, my mind longs for your lotus feet intensely. The pair of lotus feet which bestow the supreme bliss of Kaivalya, liberation, just as the Hamsa passionately longs for a pond filled with lotuses, the Chataka bird eagerly waits for the dark rain-bearing clouds, the Chakravaka bird constantly desires the sun, and the Chakora bird remains ever drawn to the moon. O all-pervading Bhagavan, you who are realized through the path of pure knowledge, that is Chinmarga Mrigyam, taught in the Upanishads, are the ultimate refuge my heart longs for. Grant me your grace and presence. We will chant this entire verse once. Even in one of the vachanas of Basavanna, those who are familiar with Kannada literature, we have Basaveshwara has composed vachanas. So he in Kannada, he also refers to Chakorange Chandramana. So how the Chakora bird desires the sun, similarly, I desire the feet of Parameshwara. So there is a similar reference in Kannada also. So let us read this, chant this verse. Hamsa Padmavanam Samichhati Yatha Neelam Budanchatakaha Kokah Kokanada Priyam Pratidinam Chandran Chakorastatha Cheto Vanchati Mamakam Pashupate Chinvargamrigyam Vibho Gaurinath Bhavat Padabjayugalam Kaivalya Saukhya Pradam. Dhanyavadaha sarvebhyah. Dhanyavadaha Aditi, Charu. We will conclude with Shanti Mantraha. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah. Sarve santu niramayah. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Ma kaschid dukha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Dhanyavadaha sarvebhyah. Ram Ram Ram. Agami Shanivasare Punarmilamah. Ram Ram Ram.
Ram Ram Ram.